Hi guys, so we're back today with a new video and it's gonna be a good one. So get your sketchbooks ready, get your drawing tabs, whether your iPads, and if you're new to this channel, make sure you subscribe because there's a lot of good content that is already on the page and some that will be dropping throughout the months. So as already said, get your sketchbooks ready. You can get an A4 size with a board, pen, graphite, chalk, or whatever medium you're comfortable using. Today we're going to do planes of the head, okay? Nothing fancy. So I'm going to show you, let's just go full screen. Where we at? Let me just click on record. Yeah, okay, so here we are. So full screen. So planes of the head, okay? This is something that I see most of the times being overlooked, okay? Most of the artists, or we as artists, I feel there's a big need for us to study the planes of the head. So I'll start with something. This is pretty basic, okay? The most complex one that I've seen is the asaro that I've drawn several times myself. It gets easier once you understand the structure, or I would say how you laying. Okay, it's like the laying is like the foundation. So if you can get a good sketch or you can get a good laying, these other things are pretty much easy. So I'm going to show you two techniques. One maybe that or maybe all the two you're familiar with, but just not in the same lighting that I'm going to give it to you today. So the first approach is going to be the shape design. Okay, just getting the overall shape and then continue with the details. The next one will be the Lumis and how I approach it. Okay, so what I'm showing you today is basically how I approach things. So I have my stylus ready, and for those of you that are drawing traditional media, like I already said, you can get something like this, pretty basic. It gets the job done. Okay, and 99% of the times I use this, okay, for my warm-up, for all my studies. So no excuses. So without talking too much or without further ado, let's get straight into the business of the day. So let's just make sure we're on the good or the correct layer. Okay, we are. Okay, and make sure you warmed up. I already warm up before starting. So this would be the shape design approach. So ideally, you have to, uh, train yourself to actually see shapes, okay, overall shapes, because this, what I can do is I can just combine this whole thing, okay, and then maybe bring this guy down like that, and then this is there, and then this comes down, something as basic as that, okay, it will get the job done. So I feel like this is a bit off, so I'll just push it to the side like that, and then bring this guy in, and then I'll slowly, push that guy in so that we can get the neck. Okay, this will just be a continuation of this other side, and then make sure you're practicing the things that I've been saying, the fundamentals. Okay, something like that, a cylindrical object, or a cylindrical shape, I should say. So the other thing that I see that's really important when it comes to actually using this approach is measurement. So ideally, there's some measurement techniques that I know that I use on a day-to-day basis, but mostly I just eyeball. Okay, so the distance that is, somewhere here. Okay, so we can take that off. So you can just gauge. Okay, I think mine will be somewhere here, and you can still see I'm using the ghosting, okay, to actually put my strokes down. So we can also have that. That would be ideal. Here you can incorporate the cutout that Lumis usually blinks, so that it gives us this, which is what the I would say half of the face, which is where the eyes mostly will be situated, and then it will give you that edge where you just lift that up, and then you'll also lift this guy up, okay, and then you combine, okay, something like that. And the idea of you actually training this or doing this, it's not for you to actually copy, okay? It's for you to actually know, because I can do this from imagination without me actually looking at a reference, because I've been drawing this for quite some time now. So enough rambling, so you can connect this guy to here. So as you can see, once I feel confident with what I have done so far, I usually put down a very confident line. So with here, you can just bring this guy here, and then here it's what's the name again? It's called the glabella, or the keystone, which is pretty easier for me. Okay, for those of you that actually study anatomy too much, you know it's popularly called the glabella. So here we'll take the measurement. It will just be, somewhere here. If we can bring this straight line, and then we have, something like that. There's a thing that is going in this side, so it's more of a, I don't know, like a V. Okay, this would go here, and then this would be somewhere here. Okay, this you can just put maybe a line that seems to, curve in that direction, because there is a line that is this side, and then there's also a line that is this side, and then you align this guy to here, and then this goes like that, and then there's seems to be a straight line here, and this is there, and this is there. This would go to that corner, and then it will bring it down. Okay, something like that. So we are making progress, and if you are timing, you'd see that it shouldn't take you less than, I don't know, 5-10 minutes, depends on how fast you have trained yourself to draw. Okay, we can combine this corner that is here. Okay, one, planes are very good, and they are very essential for an artist to study. So this side by side, they should connect. Okay, these guys, but I'm not doing that. I'm just showing you what's the thought process behind it. So what else can we do? Okay, there's this line that aligns with this guy that is there, and then this seems to be going in that direction. This is pretty, straight. Okay, we can connect that, and then we can also connect this guy, and then we bring this guy just down like that. Okay, we can also try to fix that. Okay, at the top of the head, this seems to be going down like that. The next thing that I see, have you seen this corner? This one. So you can pull a line that goes back like that, which will give you this guy, and then this would connect to here. So you can see where I made the suggestion that this line would be. I can take it off, and there is nothing wrong if you erase. Okay, don't beat yourself too much. This is a training. This is not something. This is not a piece that you're going to give out to a client or something. This is you actually training as an artist. It's part of your training routine. Okay, so you can bring this now somewhere there, and then you can connect that. Okay, so it's slowly coming together. So we can raise this and find the pressment of the ear. So here it's more of what the ear is doing is, let me just draw it and then actually demonstrate how I'm doing it. So this is supposed to come down like that, and then this goes up. So what I was saying about the ear is, let me just take this off. You can clean as you go. Once you see that you have been making some progress, you can clean as you go. So what the ear is actually doing is pretty basic. So you have something that is coming in like this, and then you have this can go down so that this can come out. Okay, to show the thickness of the ear. So that's what I'm doing. You have that, and then this would go here. Ideally, there's, you know, if you can train yourself, you know that there are those lines that are invincible. Okay, it's more of a box that has been cut out into different planar shapes so that you can easily understand. So that's what I did there on the when I was constructing the ear. And to finish it off, I think I can just bring, and I can bring this here. And remember what I said, guys. Okay, you are not copying, you're trying to actually understand what is happening. So you would see this guy would come here, and maybe this would be somewhere here. Okay, and then if we can compare, okay, I know this guy is gonna come here, and then there is that, and then this pushes down, something like that. Okay, and it's that easy, so you can see where this is ending, and then you connect this line, you know, yeah, something like that. So far we can, you know, mirror it and see if there is any loopholes or things that you can actually do better. But so far I like how this guy is turning out. So you can pull this line and then, you know, try to bring this line down to there. Okay. My plane seems to be a bit bloated. My, you know, planer head seems to be a bit bloated, but you know, it's practice. It's not something, it's not a portfolio piece. So the tricky part mostly is the lips. So ideally you bring in your center line, okay, there, and then you slowly include the upper lip, and then you put down the lower lip, because these lines you're just using, you know, simple straights. There isn't anything complex about it. If I should be honest, I should say. So ideally, maybe the lips would end somewhere here, and this would end somewhere here. So I'll just connect, you know, simple basic lines, dots, I should say, that I'm using to actually construct. So that would go there, and then the corner of this. So if I were to do justice to this line and make it a bit straighter like that. So if you're wondering how I'm getting somehow clean lines, they're not 100% clean, but they're better off. Okay, they're better off is through the technique that I've been showing you, ghosting. Okay, something like that. And then let's just mirror it and see. You find the side that is easier for you to draw. So for me, I feel this would be easy. I can bring this, and it seems to connect to a certain line that is there. You can bring it back again. This is there, and then this seems to be in this direction. This would connect to here. Let me just zoom back out and see if this is making sense. Okay, that's okay. This would connect to here. There's another line that is coming down here, and then, you know, this one, this would connect to here. Okay, this is there, and we can connect this line to there, and this corner also somewhere here. This line, you know, to that corner. What's remaining is, you know, just me to darken the line. So what I can do is I can darken this line, one. So there are many ways on how you can do it. You can do multiple passes, but for me that's too time consuming, and it would actually make this video quite long. Okay, I don't want it to be that long. Okay, so if you can see, there is you can just bring in an imaginary line like that, so that it gives us, you know, that corner. This guy also would come here, and then I would connect you know, that there. What else am I seeing? And then I see that seems to be going in that direction, and then this is there. Let's see. Yeah, that's there. This is here, and then this is there. So I can see space here has been an issue. So that's why we have an eraser. So you can zoom in pretty quickly, and then we have that. So this guy seems to be dropping down here. Zoom back a bit, and this one seems to also be going in that direction, and then we can connect that. Okay, and then this, now we can connect it to our guy down here, and then we can take these off. What else? I think it's this corner that is remaining, so we have that, and then we can connect it to here. So this needs to be darkened a bit. So what do I need to do else? Another thing that I have to do, maybe it's to add that. Let's see. Okay, this is there, this is there. Okay, 1, 2. What else? I think it's done. Maybe this corner to here. I didn't see it there, but just to spice up the thing, we can take this off. We can take this off. What else? I just need to make this a bit smaller. Maybe here, and then something like that. Maybe we darken this a bit so that it shouldn't look off. Okay, and then we fix here, and then also the neck now, because the size, we actually adjusted it, so this might go down, and then I see something like that. But we are pretty much done. This is just me trying to make up for lost time, or the space that I actually lost, that I didn't actually calculate well. So yeah, you can do it like that. So how many minutes are we in so far? I don't know, but you can have that, and then maybe if you wanna spice up the thing, you can put so BS, not the BS that but for base color, I should have wrote BC actually. So base color, and then you can have this guy. Okay, so just select no. Okay. Right there, and then F for fill. So you can choose, if you can press R on your keyboard, if you're using Krita, that is, it's gonna go to at least a lighter color. Okay, and then you can just throw it down like that. That seems to be a bit light for me, so just adjust it, maybe down a bit. Yep, that seems to be okay for me. And then if you're comfortable doing this, but it wasn't necessary for me to, but if this makes you happy, then you can also do it. So that one is done. Next we have this one needs to go on top, so we can turn this off, and then this one off as well. So we have this one can go, and then we have the side view. So this one, I'm gonna use Lumis, and it's pretty quick. Let's see how many minutes we are in so far. 20 minutes. Oh my God. Okay. Let's go. So we can use Lumis here. And this should go on pretty fast. Okay. So should I use Lumis or the shape approach? Comment in the comment section if you wanted me to use Lumis. Okay. For the time's sake. Either way, let's just go with our guy Lumis. So you have your circle. That's pretty nice. Something like that. So like I said, I'm gonna show you a hybrid that I normally use. So you can see there seems to be there's there. I'll not focus on that because that's not really necessary. Okay, you can do a simplified approach without any issues. So if we can flip this guy, and then we adjust the size a bit, and then we have our brush back. Okay. So ideally I'll just have a line that is, somewhere here, and then I would have this come here. This would just come there. This, as you can see, seems to be here. This one is like that, and then this comes down like that. This one somewhere here, and then it goes into that section. Okay, so this seems to be I don't know, should I call it stylized or what? But yeah, you'd see at the very end it's gonna make sense. So here there is no planes on top here on the brow. So what can we do? We can incorporate this cutout that Lumis brings, or I wouldn't have, because there are so many ways on how you can do it. So we can bring a line. This is here. This is eye line, and then this would connect to here. You see how useful that Lumis cutout is. And then you have this that seems to be coming in, and then this is there. You can curve that, and then have that down. This is there. What else? We can throw in the nose. Okay, and then we can bring it down. It's just a bunch of straights actually. 1, nope, 2, here 3, and then this connects to this, this that is here, and then this would connect to, to that. Ideally, there's a plane here, so on the lips, pretty much basic. We have this that is going down. There's a line that's going here, and then you have another one that comes down like that, and then you have the lower one, and then you can have this. So it's very good to actually know a bit of perspective, because if you don't, then some of these things would not make sense. Okay, you can bring this guy here, and this head seems to be pretty long. I don't know. It's kind of stylized, so we can bring it back a bit. So somewhere there, that seems to be okay. Now we bring back our brush. So as you can see on the lips, there seems to be a lost line, but this seems to be coming here, so we can just pull this guy. So we can pull this guy here, and then we have this one. This one goes in. Let's just zoom in a bit, and let's see what is actually happening and make some calculated guesses. Yeah, so this line will just be 1. No need to struggle. So that would be 1. And then as you can see, there's a there's a line that seems to be going down. Now we can just add that, but ideally I wouldn't have. Okay, it's not really important. Okay, right there, this one is there, and then this connects to that. So what do we need to do else? Just to darken the lines. Okay, it's good. Those are too many lines. Zoom in. Okay, this guy comes here. Come on. Yep. And then this, comes down. This is a bit elongated. And then this guy comes down like that. This is here. 1. Okay. This is there, and then this connects to there. There's this line that seems to be going down to this, and this goes to where the ear is. Mirror it as well. This line is here. This other line as well is here. So you can also actually, throw in, the planes that we actually started from the first one. Okay, because they are there, but this one is a bit, how do I call it? Watered down, is it? Okay, it's a bit, not too hard. It's not that hard. What else do we have? Okay, there's a line that is coming here, and then there's this that seems to connect to this, and then the ear. It's the very same technique that I showed for you to show the thickness. So we have that, and then we have this that is coming down, and then this will bring it down, and we just connect to there, and then this, that's the friend. This guy goes in. There is that shadow inside of the ear that will also give us a clue on where this guy needed to go. This would connect to that, and that's that. What else? Maybe if we can throw that, and then this is here because it's already there. The distance that is here was a bit shorter, so you'd see you'd actually extend it and then maybe bring this guy there. Okay, there is no harm in you actually doing corrections. So that will be it for this tutorial. Let's just clean a few things that isn't needed. These as well, we can take these off so that we have something neat and nice. The lines, that's why I don't actually use the Lumis approach most of the times, because that's another time that should I call it waste? That's another time, that I'll waste in just trying to erase things. If I use the shape design approach, it's very much easier because I use minimal lines. So so if you have any questions or video suggestions that you would like me to do, please feel free, post in the comment section, and I'll see if I have time, and then we can see how we can go about it. And one last thing before I go, I will not bother to do the base color because you've already seen how I do it. So the last thing that I would do would just be a very simple, I would say, mashup. Okay, so you can now incorporate what I call drawing from imagination. Okay, so you have this that you have already drawn. Okay, that's it's in that direction. If you mirror it, it's going to be in this direction. If you mirror it this way, it's going to be in the other direction. Okay. Now, most of beginners, they struggle with this aspect. Okay, they would say, okay, no, the teacher only taught us how to draw a head from, let's say, how to draw a head from this angle. Okay, they'll be complaining like, okay, the teacher only taught us how to draw a head from this angle, but it's your assignment or it's your job as an artist for you now to actually think outside of the box. Okay, I know how I can draw it in this way. Can I also do it in the other way? Okay, that's where training comes in. Okay, you can train in that way. Okay, those are the things that you as an artist, you can incorporate. Okay, even though we didn't do a front, but what I'm showing you this here are just pretty basic lay-ins that, I mean, you ought to know, or you ought to be doing, even without someone actually showing you the angle that you feel it's more important for you to see. Okay, because you can also do it on your own. Okay, so you can have a bunch of things. So maybe you can use now the shape approach that I was saying, and then you have that. This guy would come here, and then this would be there, and then this is there, and then you can now how do I put it? You can now mix and match the things that you have learned. Okay, you can do something like that, and then this is there. You're still using the same knowledge that you actually just learned about, or that you have been practicing. Okay, this line, I know it will come here, this would be here, and this would be here. This most definitely will be somewhere here. This you can just scoop 1, 2, 3, and then 4, 5, 6, down. Yeah, something like that. You can throw in, simple things like this that you need to be doing. So this was off, but that's how I want you guys to be seeing things. Okay, I know there's some advanced artists here that already know how to get around these. So let's bring back what we had. So we have this, and then we have this other guy. So let's just put them side by side. Okay, that's happening. So we have that, and then yeah, so that's okay. We also get this. Okay, 1, and let's just increase it so that it should match. Yep, so that's it, guys. Subscribe if you like this video, share with your friends. I'll be dropping more of these. I know these much more illustrated ones are much better because you learn. Okay, you are able to see, or to actually to see my thought process, and maybe for the first time see the person behind the channel. So consider subscribing, share with your friends, share on areas that you think I might need to improve. Okay, I'll appreciate it. I appreciate the support and the love that you have been showing me so far. So I'll see you guys on the next one. Bye.